Ambassador Thexana's mandibles clicked nervously as she reviewed the Galactic Combat Federation's latest ruling. The holographic display showed the same damning words that had sparked outrage across 17 star systems. Effective immediately, Homo sapiens are permanently banned from all sanctioned combat arenas due to excessive aggression and unpredictable tactical innovation. The Zephyrian diplomat had spent 3 cycles trying to convince the Council that humans were simply enthusiastic competitors. But after Captain Sarah Chen had defeated a Krillian warlord using nothing but a broken chair leg and what humans called spite, the other species had reached their limit. "It's not fair to the other participants," High Chancellor Vorth had declared, his crystalline form pulsing with indignation. "Humans don't just fight. They improvise, adapt, and somehow turn defeats into victories through sheer stubborn refusal to acknowledge the concept of surrender." Thexana had tried explaining that humans called it thinking outside the box, but the Chancellor's species had no concept of containers, making the metaphor lost in translation. Now, 3 months after the ban, Thexana found herself aboard Defiance, humanity's newest and most audacious project. The massive space station hung in neutral space, bristling with broadcast equipment and what appeared to be several million tons of human engineering that probably violated multiple physics laws. "Welcome to the Terran Combat Nexus, Captain." Chen greeted her, sporting a grin that Thexana had learned meant humans were about to do something spectacularly inadvisable. "Thanks for agreeing to be our first non-human observer." The captain led her through corridors that hummed with energy. Everywhere, humans rushed about with the manic enthusiasm of a species that had just been told they couldn't do something. Thexana knew enough about human psychology to recognize this as a fundamentally dangerous situation. "You see," Chen explained, as they walked, "when the galaxy banned us from their arenas, we realized we'd been thinking too small. Why fight in their little boxes when we could build something bigger?" They emerged onto an observation deck, and Thexana's 4 hearts stopped in sequence. Before them stretched what could only be described as controlled chaos given physical form. The arena was a massive asteroid field that humans had somehow weaponized, containing floating platforms, zero-gravity combat zones, and what appeared to be an actual miniature black hole being used as a gravitational slingshot. "Magnificent, isn't it?" Chen said proudly. "We call it the Crucible. It's not just about fighting anymore, it's about survival, adaptation, and proving that humans can thrive anywhere." On the screens surrounding them, Thexana watched in horrified fascination as human competitors navigated the deadly obstacle course. They weren't just fighting each other, they were fighting the environment itself, using everything from makeshift tools to pure physics as weapons. "Is that competitor using a solar panel as a shield while riding a piece of debris like a surfboard?" Thexana asked weakly. "Oh, that's Marcus, former asteroid miner. He's in 3rd place right now." Chen pointed to another screen. "The leader is Elena. She's a physicist who figured out how to weaponize magnetic field fluctuations." As they watched, Elena redirected an opponent's projectile using nothing but a stripped power cable and the station's own magnetic field, sending her rival spinning into a strategically placed energy net. "But this is..." Thexana struggled for words. "This is insane. You've turned combat into a science experiment conducted by madmen." "We prefer creative problem solvers," Chen replied cheerfully. "And it's working. We're getting broadcast requests from 18 species who weren't even part of the original Federation. Turns out when you remove artificial limitations and let humans be humans, the galaxy pays attention." Thexana checked her neural implant. The viewing numbers were staggering. Across known space, beings were tuning in to watch humans do what they did best: take an impossible situation and somehow make it work through a combination of ingenuity, stubbornness, and what other species had learned to call reckless creativity. "The Federation won't like this," she warned. Chen's grin widened. "The Federation banned us from their arenas. They never said we couldn't build our own." She gestured toward the chaos below. "Every species has their strengths. Zephyrians have your perfect memory. Krillians have their honor codes. Vorthians have their crystal matrices. But humans? She paused dramatically. Humans have the supernatural ability to look at any limitation and ask, but what if we just didn't? On the screens, Marcus had just used his solar panel to redirect thrust from a damaged competitor's jetpack, launching himself toward the finish platform while spinning like a disc. Meanwhile, Elena was somehow using gravitational lensing to bend light around herself, effectively becoming invisible to her remaining opponent. "You've weaponized our own physics," Thexana muttered. "We've liberated physics," Chen corrected. "Removed it from its artificial constraints and let it be what it wants to be, unpredictable, beautiful, and occasionally explosive." As if summoned by her words, one of the competitors triggered what appeared to be a controlled fusion reaction, using nothing but hydrogen coolant and a really bad day. The resulting light show was visible from 3 star systems. "The winner," announced the station's AI, its voice somehow managing to sound both excited and resigned. "Elena Vasquez, for innovative use of quantum mechanics in a combat scenario." Thexana watched as rescue teams deployed to collect the other competitors, all of whom were somehow still alive and already arguing about rematch terms. It was, she realized, the most human thing she'd ever witnessed. Turning exile into opportunity, limitation into liberation, and defeat into a new kind of victory. "So," Chen said, turning to her with that dangerous human smile, "want to stick around for the next round? We're testing something we call full physics combat. Elena thinks she can weaponize entropy itself." Thexana's mandibles clicked rapidly, the Zephyrian equivalent of nervous laughter. The galaxy had tried to contain humanity's chaos by banning them from conventional arenas. Instead, they'd given humans exactly what they'd always needed: a reason to prove that conventional was just another word for insufficient imagination. "I should probably warn the Federation," she said weakly. "Oh, don't worry," Chen replied. "We already sent them an invitation."